So this video is all about the follow-up email sequence once someone's opted into some kind of gated content, a form on your website, some kind of, maybe you're doing lead generation ads on LinkedIn or Facebook or whichever other platform. But this video is all about the follow-up email sequence and how to write it and how to structure that. But I want to go down a road which is a bit more controversial, something that I've been experimenting over the past few months with my clients and myself, which is trying to make the email feel as personalized as possible and also coming from your Gmail. So it's not coming from your CRM, your HubSpots or whatever. It's coming from your Gmail, personalized Gmail. And trust me, the second you can make one of these emails feel personalized, if the receiver feels that this email is literally coming from you personally, you've taken the time to write the email, your response rate and conversion rates go through the roof. It's actually incredible. So the trick is to make it feel as if it's personalized. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this using automation software. And yeah, so let's jump in. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So let's assume you're getting these leads now from either your LinkedIn advertising or Facebook and Instagram, wherever they're coming from, the leads coming in, you're getting their email addresses, which is becoming more and more needed now because, like, you know, iOS 14, for example, is just messing retargeting up. Owning your own leads is where it's all at. You need to be taking these people off from the platform rather than renting them, say your subscribers on YouTube, your followers on LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever it is, that those are rented. Facebook, LinkedIn, or whoever can change the rules of the game, YouTube. And suddenly, maybe those 20 or 100,000 followers or 5,000 subscribers, whatever have you, suddenly becomes completely useless. And your whole business model might be based around that. If you're a B2B company, it takes a long time to build up this followers or subscribers, and you put a lot of potential effort into like gaining these. But what happens if they change the rules, right? You need to be getting the email address. So say you have a plan, and I'm going to make another video around this, so please subscribe, make sure you subscribe. But basically, say you have a strategy around collecting the email addresses from YouTube or from your website or from, and you should have these kind of lead gen gated content offers all over the place. You should be talking about them wherever you go. So for example, one of mine is a free course on targeting. If you want to target like a pro on LinkedIn, you can get a free course. You can sign up to a free course below. You're going to become a professional, a pro targeter on LinkedIn. So you can do that, and I'll leave a link below. I literally will leave a link below. But that's one of my offers, for example, which converts really well on YouTube, for example. So I'm getting the email addresses of these people who are interested in LinkedIn ads. But what happens after that? Or say if you're doing paid advertising campaigns and you're leading people to an opt-in page, you're getting lead after lead after lead. A lot of the time the conversion happens in the email. And this is the biggest thing I see what people do wrong. And I want to talk about what I think people should be doing. I haven't heard anyone talking about this, which is quite exciting. And I'm happy to bring this to you because I'm doing A/B testing every single day for my clients and for myself, but mainly my clients because I have quite a few clients we're doing demand gen for them. So we're A/B testing in real life every single day. So I'm just bringing all this information to you from what we're experimenting with, which is really great. So that's why you should subscribe. But here's this one. This is a nugget, a golden nugget for you guys. So basically, what most people do is they get the lead and then they get their CRM, say, let's call it HubSpot or Salesforce, whatever you have. The CRM sends a follow-up email saying, thanks for downloading la-di-la-di-da. It's a generic email normally that feels generic. And the problem with that is that when someone receives that, just put yourself in those shoes or in that hat when you've received that email, which is obviously generic, obviously come from a CRM system. Will you reply to it? No way. Like, actually never will you reply to it. The reply rates on that are very low, very, very, very low. So, but the second you get, so like the whole principle about what I'm going to talk to you about today is if you get an email from someone who's personally messaged you or at least feels that way, so we're not going to be doing this, we're going to be automating it. But let's say you get an email from someone who has taken the time to write you an email. Would you feel like you would probably reply? Sometimes, yeah. It depends on a lot of factors, but the conversion rate, I can tell you from A/B testing this, goes up through the roof. So the second you can make an email feel personal, even though it's automated, your reply rate will go through the roof. So now hear me out. This is where the plan is. So the first email, send it from your CRM, send them the gated content, make it say the generic thing, which is, hey, thanks for downloading. You can find your gated content here. Here's a link to it. This is what you're missing out on if you don't read it. And, maybe some other call to action. Hey, check out our sales page, blah, 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 blah. Do the generic first email, but then follow up 2 hours later with an automated message which feels personalized from an outbound tool, cold email tool like Woodpecker. So you're linking up your leads. So from HubSpot, whatever, linking up to an outbound email. My favorite is Woodpecker, but and I'll leave a link it's an affiliate link in the link below, but you can use Mailshake, you can use Lemlist, there's loads of them. My favorite's Woodpecker because it's super simple to use. And the reason why this is different from your CRM system is that this actually goes from your Gmail. Like the email literally goes from Gmail. So there are just certain fat little things that make it feel more genuine. So it's just like, it already looks like it's a real email because it's actually coming from a Gmail. It's not coming from like your company name or something like this. But the second thing you need to do is write it in a way where it really feels like you don't overthink it. And that's the point. When it looks overthought and you've really took the time to, the grammar's 100%, everything's kind of structured in a really neat way. The second it looks like that, it looks automated, it looks pre-planned, it looks overthought, and your reply rates will go down, in fact. So make it actually look like you've literally just like, okay, I've seen the lead come in and I'm going to pop them a quick email just asking them before a call. Make it feel like that, and trust me, your reply rates will go up a lot. It's really powerful. It becomes more like a cold email, and it follows the same principles as cold email. Check out my other videos around cold email, which is all about personalization mixed with automation. So here's one I do, and it works really well. You can A/B test the subject lines with this kind of tool. You can actually start A/B testing subject lines, first liners, pitch. You can A/B test all these different. They're called snippets in Woodpecker.co, and I would A/B test this. A/B test the subject line to see how many are opening, and different subject lines will create different open rates. Test the first liner, test the kind of body, test the call to action. You can do all this with your outbound email, and it's really simple to test all that until you're getting a really good reply rate, a really good meeting rate. Because if you're paying for these leads already, you really want to be converting them. So here's one. This is just a generic one which works. With the subject line, as a general rule of thumb, you don't want to give too much information, but you want to give enough to be curious. But you also don't want to mislead people, because if you mislead people, they'll be pissed off and they'll be like, who the fuck is this guy? I don't want to talk to him. So it's kind of got to find the fine balance between misleading people, but also keeping enough, being curious enough, being a little bit clickbaity, but not too much. So like this is one that has just been working for a long time. It probably won't work forever, but it's working for me quite well. Just like cool question mark, because people see that and they're like, did I have a call? Did I miss a call? What's going on? So they click on it and they open it, and then it's like, hey Phil, or whatever your name is, hey, thanks for downloading the Ultimate Guide to LinkedIn Advertising. I had a good look at your company, and from what I can see so far, I believe LinkedIn ads could benefit you guys. Do you have 20 minutes to jump on a call to discuss this? Happy to go into specifics and talk about benchmarks, conversions, and costs associated. Thanks, Phil Illich, LinkedIn ad specialist. So just to dissect this a little bit, it's just short, to the point, and it feels natural. I'm not trying to oversell. I'm not trying to write like a big 5 points of why LinkedIn advertising are amazing. That's not what the point is. Here we're trying to look real and genuine. I'm just popping out a quick email. I want to reply on this. If the reply is no, sorry, I'm not interested, that's fine. I want to reply. I want to get a reply on this. And then I'm going to follow up 3 times after this. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And the follow-up actually can be done on woodpecker.co as well, or Lemlist, or any of these cold email tools. But follow up at least 2, 3, or 4 times. We're just saying, hey, by the way, did you get my previous message? Do you have 20 minutes for a phone call? Simple follow-ups like that work really well. And I'm going to make a video around specific copy and follow-up copy and all that kind of stuff. So definitely check those out when they come out. But basically, they've downloaded a guide to LinkedIn advertising. So they're putting up their hand. So the gated content piece is linked to my service. And I think that's really important to remember. Make your gated content piece linked to the service you provide, right? So if your gated content piece is all about LinkedIn advertising, I'm a LinkedIn ad specialist, and I provide that as a service, then suddenly I know they're putting up their hand to say, hey, I might be interested in LinkedIn advertising. I'm at least curious about it. And because I'm targeting these kinds of people, either they're searching for it on YouTube, like how to do LinkedIn advertising, and they got to my video and then they download it. There's real intent there with that journey. Or, for example, I'm putting advertising in front of the right people on LinkedIn, because I'm a LinkedIn ad specialist, or Facebook or on Instagram, and I'm saying, hey, these are the benefits of LinkedIn advertising. Have you ever considered it for your, B2B software company? So if they're coming through, they clicked on the guide and they want to read it. There's some intent, at least there, depending what medium you're pushing this out on. If they're going to your website, that's a different intent as well. But generally, the intent is around LinkedIn advertising already. So now I'm pushing the fact, hey, how about you talk to me? You've downloaded this guide. How about you talk to me? That's not a big step to take for people. Like, you're curious. Why don't you talk to me about it for 20 minutes? I'm not asking for a big commitment. 20 minutes, talk to me about LinkedIn advertising, and I can also give you some really good, answer any of your questions. A lot of time people just want to know conversions, what's the cost associated, this kind of question are popping up in their head, like, okay, but how much is a click on LinkedIn? LinkedIn's expensive, isn't it? So I'm giving them the fact that I can just give them information, and it's not a big deal. I can just give them, they can just pop on the phone, hey, Phil, I've got some questions around LinkedIn ads, la 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 la. And then, so my conversion from the phone call is like 20%. I'll convert 1 in 5 of those phone calls. And so I'm happy to jump on the 5 phone calls to convert 1. And the 20 minutes normally lasts half an hour, 45 minutes, because people actually have way more questions to ask. So I just give value in those phone calls. And this is what I'm saying. Most people just have CRM, follow up, thanks for downloading, and another one, maybe pushing, hey, how about you do a phone call? But it always feels generic. It's coming from a CRM. It's kind of written in that way. But if it's coming from your Gmail, it feels real already, and it's written in a really personalized way. That makes all the difference. So definitely do that. And one bonus tip to add to this is you can even then automate the follow-up sequence on LinkedIn with, say, a tool like Dux Soup. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below. But basically, Dux Soup will send them a LinkedIn message saying, and you can kind of make it work in conjunction with your email. So it could be like, you can do this in so many different ways. Your flow can be different. But for example, you can send the CRM. I would send the CRM email straight away. 2 hours later, send the automated sales email, this one, like 2 hours later, so it feels real, like, hey, I know she downloaded, blah, blah, blah. That comes 2 hours later. You've got a bunch of follow-ups coming up, but one of the follow-ups can be this, maybe the next day, or, don't go too aggressive, but it's up to you. Maybe the next day you follow up with a LinkedIn message saying, and automated it again, because you don't want to be spending loads of time on this, automated, saying, hey, I just sent you an email yesterday, wondering if you got it, and if you want to talk about LinkedIn ads, I'm here for you. Something really simple, not too pushy, and keep it short. No one wants to read a 4,000 word article about LinkedIn advertising, why it's beneficial. Just something short and sweet, and that's it. So your flow can, after that, you can coordinate the LinkedIn with the cold email, or just follow up with cold email. That works as well. But what I'm going to say is that make it feel personalized, and just follow what I've said here. CRM delivers the content, is generic. You're not expecting replies from that. Follow up by the real email, which is not generic. It feels personalized, and you're hopefully getting conversion there. And what I want to say is that actually the follow up is where the majority of the conversions happen. So not email number 1, like not this email number 1, cold email number 1, cold email number 2, or even cold email number 3 is where the majority of the conversions happen. So you need to have a follow-up. And the best way to remember to do follow-ups is just to input it into woodpecker.co, have the follow-ups already there. It's all just going to come out automatically. You don't have to remember anything. And you have like a day 3, follow-up number 2, blah, 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 blah. It goes, I'll put another video up on what I think is a really good follow-up, the timing and the flow, because we're experimenting a lot with different flows and doing omni-channel. So mixing LinkedIn with cold email and making them work together, which is quite interesting, versus just cold email. And I'll share the results on that as well, and give you really up-to-date B2B demand gen things we're figuring out and finding out, because we're experimenting all the time. So definitely subscribe and follow this. So if you found that useful, please subscribe and hit the bell button. I'm bringing out videos like this every single week, and I'm going to be showing you all of the different things that I'm doing. I'm experimenting with so many different things. I'm trying to get away from the generic stuff you're seeing everyone on YouTube, everyone just saying the same thing over and over again. I'm doing this every single day with clients, and I'm experimenting, A/B testing so many different things. So, and any new things that I come up with, marketing is a changing, dynamic field, and it's changing regularly. So, I think a lot of these marketers, they get stuck in one way they do it and they never experiment past that point. They get the results in 2018 and they stick to those results forever, and their results start dwindling because marketing changes. And this is what I want to show you. I'm doing A/B tests all around the board, from LinkedIn ads to cold email. I'm testing, and I want to show you the results, and I'll teach you the up-to-date strategies that are working today.